Tom Taylor, Trevor Hairsine, and Neil Edwards pit hero against hero as the Earth 2 heroes go to the Guardians of Oa for help. They find the Guardians have other plans for the universe and the anti-life virus. Tom Taylor takes us into the halfway mark of the final chapter of the DCEASED storyline with an issue that adds even more insane things to the pot of already bonkers things. With most of Taylor's work, I enjoy when he gives us a quieter moment between some of the characters, in this case Alfred and Leslie Tompkins, helping build out Alfred's role in the series and address the trauma he has of killing his sons back in the first series. Taylor is really good at putting these little sparks of light throughout his dark and violent stories, and Alfred also hinting at wanting to get involved in the actual plot and actually fight some of these zombies sounds like a blast, and I can't wait to see where that goes. A war with the Green Lanterns wasn't something I had on my DCEASED bingo card, and I like that they are justified in wanting to deal with the virus how a doctor would, which is cut away the cancerous materials, in this case kill off the worlds that are infected to stop the spread. It makes total sense to do so, but also Superman wanting to save these people with the cure they have is also valid and a very Superman and superhero thing to want to do. There's a little bit of an interesting dichotomy there with the superheroes wanting to do superhero things, where the Green Lanterns, who are like, the cops and at times the emergency services for the galaxy, want to act like emergency services and doctors and cut away all of this undead plague. So it makes sense for them to want to go to war with one another since they're two sides of the same coin, more or less. The big twist, of course, comes right at the end with the inclusion of Mixel Spitlick, who is the worst person you could probably see during an apocalypse, but also one who maybe is probably a good thing to see, being he has godlike powers, so he could probably really help. However, I'm very much looking forward to seeing if Taylor turns him into a zombie, since his godlike powers under the influence of a zombie plague would just be an unmitigated disaster for the superheroes, and that is something I would love to see them go up against. Trevor Hairsine is joined by Neil Edwards this issue for some more grimy and bloody zombie action. Neil's pages featuring Maxima and Prima were wonderfully coloured and bloody and meshed really well with Trevor's art and designs, like the Yellow Lantern DARKSEID, who's got a very simple yet very intimidating design. DCEASED War of the Undead Gods issue 4 took things to another level at the halfway mark as Tom Taylor and his team unleash even more chaos into the Undead universe, along with some quieter, lovely character moments. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. DCEASED War of the Undead Gods issue 4 finds Alfred reliving the time he killed Dick, Tim and Bruce, but the corpses get back up, demanding to know why Alfred killed them since they didn't have to die. Alfred is shook from his nightmare by Leslie Tompkins, who he apologizes for waking. Leslie knows that sharing their lives means sharing their demons too, but Alfred isn't sure that's how a relationship works. However, the woman tells him that he's not allowed himself to be in one for a very long time, so he's not really an expert on relationships. She comforts Alfred, telling him that it wasn't his fault and he's always been angry. She hopes he finds a way to forgive himself, but Alfred doesn't think he's angry. However, Leslie disagrees, knowing that while he kept it buttoned up for so long, he raised Batman, wondering if Bruce didn't carry any of Alfred's rage inside of him, since his crusade for vengeance was partly Alfred's as well. There's a knock at the door and Leslie finds Damien waiting outside. Damien is surprised to see Dr. Tompkins, who tries to excuse why she's there so early, but Damien has already figured out that she's living with Alfred, telling his friends that he's happy for both of them. Damien reveals that he's come to say goodbye since they are all going to meet the Guardians of Oa to plan a fight against that anti-life equation. Alfred doesn't want him to go, apologizing since it's not fair to ask him, but he's lost so many sons and doesn't want to lose another. Damien reminds him of the anti-life spreading and how nowhere is safe, so he has to stop it, and the least he could do is try. Alfred thinks that there is so much of his father in him, telling the boy if he can't stay, he can at least find a way to allow Alfred to stand with the heroes, be it a weapon, a power, or a ring, since he doesn't want to sit this out. Superman arrives to collect Damien, so he tells Alfred that he has never sat uselessly on the sidelines and nothing the family achieved would be possible without him, and him wanting to battle undead gods makes Damien feel that there's a lot of his father in Alfred as well. Superman grabs Batman and takes off for space, knowing that they are facing a universal apocalypse, but seeing Alfred and Leslie being together is so great. On the planet Almerac, Maxima oversees her people as they board escape ships, leaving their planet behind. She is told that that they should stay and defend, but Maxima knows they are born for battle, not for slaughter. Maxima and Prima are the only ones left behind, readying themselves as a dark boom tube opens and spits out the undead Forever People. Maxima makes sure the Forever People don't live up to their name, killing them all, but Prima is suddenly hit by the yellow Omega beams of the Yellow Lantern DARKSEID, who along with Supergirl, Warworld and the rest of the New Gods arrives to the planet, turning Maxima into a tool for the anti-life. On Oa, the Guardians speak with the gathered core and the heroes, telling them that 12 planets have been destroyed and over 100 billion lives have been lost, but the anti-life equation has taken 7 planets for itself, infecting all of the people on it, so they have to sanction lethal force. The Guardians demand that these worlds be wiped away, unsettling Superman, who knows that they have a cure. Ganthet knows that Superman's compassion is misplaced in this situation, since they are engaging with the anti-life and it is too risky if they get too close. Brainiac states that the Guardians are correct and any infected planet should be sanitized. Guy thinks that if Brainiac is on Ganthet's side, maybe they should rethink their argument. Superman refuses to kill entire worlds and the other heroes back him up as Kilowog demands the heroes stand down, but Kyle tries to reason with both sides, wanting them to think with clear minds. Ganthet refuses to risk more powerful beings becoming undead tools for the anti-life, intending on imprisoning Superman on Oa until it is done. The Guardians put Superman in a construct, but the Man of Steel easily punches through it, knocking Ganthet out in one punch. Kilowog on Tomar-Ray attacks Superman, blasting him back, but Shazam attacks them, much to the enjoyment of Ares. The heroes begin to battle the Green Lantern Corps, and Batman immediately knows something is wrong, finding his pulses elevated and his judgment clouded. He deduces they are not in control of the situation and the God of War is manipulating them. Ares admits to giving them all a little nudge as the arriving Mr. Mixel-Spitlick tells Ares to listen to Batman since he won't have anyone hurting Superman.